Hi everybody, welcome to the Master System Challenge Christmas special. I'm gonna do Ninja Gaiden because I'm alright at it and it's a lot of fun and there's no high score, so let's go into it. Right, so disclaimer, I'm playing Ninja Gaiden using RetroArch, so this is emulated. The footage here, or my submission, would have been the 8th or 9th attempt of the day, and so like by this time I'd given up trying to do any live commentary while playing. You know, I was really fed up after losing however many lives to like obstacles and enemies that I shouldn't have died to. So yeah, this commentary on this video is post commentary. So normally I'm pretty good, especially at the first level. I don't want to say, oh yeah, I'm amazing, because I'm not. But like, I've done the first level so many times that I know it all off by heart, and I was really annoyed that I got injured then, because I can do this without taking any damage. And in my head I was like, oh, for God's sake, right? Okay, so you're not even doing what you can normally do, so you're just going to fail, you're not going to get a high score. But it turns out that this was my high score submission, so yeah. It's usually at this point in the level where it's kind of like muscle memory takes over, but while I'm watching this back now, it's not as fluid as I normally like to do it. So a tip on that bit, where the jumping ninja's, the top of his head reaches the top of the scroll, that's when you need to use your ability, and that way you'll get the scroll and you'll kill the ninja on his way down. I failed it the first time, because you know that you get 2 jumping ninjas in that section. First one I failed, but I managed to get it on the second one. And then this one, you just need to get your 4 fireballs and just remember which tree they jump out at, because if you fire it off at the right time, you can kill them before they fire their shurikens at you. I mistimed that one, but it turned out okay. I didn't get hit anyway, so that's not too bad. To be fair, end of the day, you don't get any extra points for doing it without taking damage or anything. It's just this game is a little bit of a bastard, and sometimes you will just not be able to kill a random enemy and you'll just die. And also, if you're new to playing this game, just before each boss section you will get the chance for 1 or 2 scrolls of healing. So even if you've got like less than half health, all of a sudden you're back to full health before the boss. So it's not as harsh as you sometimes think this game is. You just got to remember to, you know, get the scrolls and which scrolls are healing. So it was at this point I I came to the realization that these fallen ninjas, they're each worth 100 points. And the way that like scoring works on Ninja Gaiden is you get 1,000,000 points, and then you get like 3 million and another 3 million for like the bosses. So everyone ends up kind of at the same score, and it's just these individual enemies that are going to give you the extra points over someone else if a couple of you end up competing at the score in this game. You know, like, so each one of these fallen ninjas is 100. If you spend an extra minute during this boss fight, you can end up getting an extra 7,000 points. And if you all get to stage 5 and you're on 10,100,000 points each, those extra few kills could be the difference between first and second place. But as I was saying earlier, at this point, this was like my, 9th or 10th attempt or something, and I just couldn't be bothered killing all these little guys. And I actually skip 1 floor in the building that we're coming up to in a second, just because I couldn't be bothered anymore. I just wanted to beat the boss. I just wanted to get onto the next level, and then start competing at a higher level. I just couldn't be bothered killing these few little creatures, few little guys over and over again. So yeah, jump up onto here, get the heal. Yeah, get the heal, full health. Come into this room, kill these 2 guys, and get the scroll, because you need the scroll to blitz through. So you just jump up there, get the scroll, and then when you're over this ledge, you can fire it. Kill these 2 plonkers. Yeah. Jump up, get this guy. Or not in this case. I think he ends up shooting me. Yeah. So jump up, kill this guy. Oh my God. It's frustrating watching it back. I must have decided it's not worth getting that scroll anyway. If I remember, it changes your special ability anyway, and the fire ring is pretty much perfect for the next stage of this mission anyway. You'll see in a minute. Yeah, so as I was saying earlier, I skipped most of this building, because you can just jump up the elevator shaft and jump out, and then you're onto the roof section, or you can spend an extra minute doing the rest of the building. But for a few hundred points, I don't think there's much point. And as I was saying, it was probably a good idea I didn't get that scroll, because now I've got this fire ring, and you can just literally, as long as you've got enough end score, I can't remember what it stands for, like ninja points or something, you are so safe. Like, the amount of times I've seen people die on this section of Ninja Gaiden because of those bloody eagles or those red guys who come out of nowhere and they knock you off the building and you die. But if you keep that fire ring, you are safe as houses. And if you ever end up watching like speedrun attempts of Ninja Gaiden, half the game for speedrunners is remembering where that fire ring is, and so they don't get the scrolls to change their special ability because it's so powerful and you need it just to blast through a bunch of levels, because obviously you can't take any damage unless you fall, and you just burn through all the enemies except bosses, and so you're able just to blitz through it. It's probably not a good idea if you're trying to gain loads of points by killing all the enemies, but I suppose that's not what speedrunning is. And as I said earlier, I made the decision that I'm not going to spend ages trying to get every single kill I can possibly get just to try and get a few hundred more points. The aim of the game for me, especially on this attempt, was just to get as far as I could, because each boss gives you 1 million or 3 million or 4 million. I can't remember how many points, but they give you a bunch of points, which will really propel you from like third, second, or first. And so I don't know if anyone's watching this to pick up any kind of like tips or whatever, but the best way to get rid of this boss is to stand exactly where I am, and then when a guy comes on the right hand side, second from the top, just turn around, kill him, go back, and slowly keep hitting the boss. There's no point in keep slashing and slashing and slashing the boss when he's got his invulnerability over him, because you will miss the frame that you need to turn around and get the guy that's coming from the right hand side. So yeah, just FYI. And so on this next bit, it's kind of counter to what I've been saying, how I just like to, on this attempt, especially when I was skipping a load of enemies because I couldn't be bothered anymore. On the next bit, you go down into the sewer, and for a regular playthrough, I'd always recommend going down to the sewer. It's a little bit more difficult, but you can get a heal, and you can rack up quite a few points, and you get the one of the scrolls down here is the 4 fireballs special attack. And it's so handy for killing the guys who are throwing stuff at you from a safe distance. You know what I mean? You've got long enough that you can usually dodge their projectile, and they can't dodge yours. So it's just nice to go down here. You've got a bit of safety just to get them. All you need to do is remember to have at least, I think it's like 100 end points, so that you can kill all the guys that will appear down here on your way back out the sewers. Because the amount of times you'll die to these bats, like watch. Yeah, so if you don't have those fireballs, you are screwed when you're jumping over that gap. You are going to get knocked into the hole and lose a life. And again here. So, yeah, just another little tip. I really don't like these guys clad in black who just throw bombs at you. Sometimes you'll just get like this. You'll just get obliterated. And you think, oh, I should have easily killed that guy. But no. They're just throwing bombs at you and they wreck. So the enemies with the yellow canes, one's going to come up here. The idea is when they've jumped, you just take a step back, and then you're easily able to kill them when they're on their descent from their jump. Chances are, even if you do the step back and you kill them, you'll end up running into their bloody cane anyway and taking a load of damage. I don't know why, but I seem to do it all the time, even though I know exactly what to do to get rid of them. It's just one of those things. What I've always really enjoyed about Ninja Gaiden is like when you get the jumps right and you get the combat right, the levels have a really nice flow to them, and you're so, what's the word? You appear to be like, you're so majestic. You're just flying through the air, everything just feels so smooth, and it's a really nice feeling. And because it's one of those games where you just constantly get your ass handed to you sometimes, it makes it feel so much better when you get it right and you're just flying through the mission. So speedrunners tend to now just keep these 4 fireballs that spin around you, just because you can run through the spikes. Well, obviously mine just ran out, and as I said earlier, you can just run through the enemies. So if you're smart enough, you can remember which scrolls are what, and you can adjust your play accordingly. But that's beyond me. So this scroll here, this is an important one to get because it's 100 end points, so you can use you can use quite a few more special abilities, and it's especially handy if you've got the I'm going to call it a fire ring, because there are so many traps in this house, like not these spikes because some of them are just there to lure you into a wrong direction, but it's when you go up this ladder, you've got spikes and a guy throwing stuff at you. It's very easy to fall off and go down there and then get chopped up by those 2 guys. And then obviously you've got the spikes here where we just run through. Again, another little tricky bit here. I don't know why I didn't use my firing there. It would have been a lot easier just to firing and then jump up and kill those guys. But learn from my mistakes and just build up your endpoints and just abuse the firing. Actually, I'm going to try and call it the Ring of Fire, because whenever I say fire ring, it sounds like I'm firing a gun. So yeah, Ring of Fire. And with how ridiculously hard Ninja Gaiden is, and because of how ridiculously hard each new level is, when I was doing my earlier attempts, if I'd died either the first, the second, or the third stage, I would restart my progress, just because it's so easy just to lose the odd life out of something stupid. So the amount of times I would just load the save state at the very beginning of the game and around this point of stage 3. Ugh. And also, this boss can be a bit of a bugger. The idea is you've got to get within his little zone of terror and aggro him into attacking you, and then you take a step back, similar to those guys with the yellow canes. I'm not doing a very good job here, but somehow I still managed to do it. But yeah, you can see there, get into his little zone of terror, prompt him to attack you, dart back a bit, and then you can hit him, and you can just keep doing that, and then keep doing that, and then it is, once you know what you're doing, you can do this boss without taking damage pretty easily. The amount of times I've received a game over screen here, though, just because it can be very difficult to gauge how close you need to get to him to aggro. You need to use these, well, whatever's on the background, those little bars on the background is how you would count his distance. And then I thought it would be really clever if I used my, whatever the ability is that damages everything on screen, then I was going to hit it twice, and then I realised if I did that, I'd have ended up dying. So I just had to wait for my final strike. And so when I was playing this game, I just kept skipping all the story parts, but if I remember correctly, I didn't skip this one. So bear with me for a minute while we read what's happening in the story. I would have just cut this out while editing the video, but I don't want anyone to think I'm kind of like splicing footage together. So I'm just going to, it's whatever the footage is that I recorded is what's playing right now. So unfortunately, we're just going to have to sit through the story a bit. If I remember when I was doing this, I was just texting someone, so that's why I wasn't paying attention, wasn't trying to skip the dialogue or anything. So stage 4, Mount Fuji, or Rescue Geisha, or whatever it's called. Yeah, Rescue Geisha. I never got past this stage as a kid. It's only since replaying Ninja Gaiden as I'm older that I'm able to get past this mission. And to be fair, it doesn't happen very often. It still kicks my ass 9 times out of 10. So there is a glitch you can do, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I watched a speedrunner do it. At part of this mission, you can jump up onto a wall, and then you can kind of jump out and back into it above the wall, and you skip, like, I think it's like a third of the entire stage. And I can't remember exactly where it is, but you know, even if I could, I probably wouldn't have done it, because we're trying to do a proper game here, not abusing glitches or anything. And it's not very evident from the video, but the waterfall, when I was playing it in game, really hurt my eyes. Like, even the little waterfalls were still giving me a headache. I don't know what it is, but when we get to the big waterfall in a bit, my eyes started going really fuzzy. So this scroll is one of those 4 fireballs that you can shoot at enemies on the screen. So it's pretty handy to have. However, the red enemies, you have to fire it twice, because the projectiles hit them too close to each other, so they've got their little temporary invulnerability by the time the second, third, and fourth projectile hits them. So you just got to keep an eye out for that. And this one is a heal, which I'm definitely not going to be able to get. It's so hard to get. You have to time your jump correctly, and it's something I can't do. You should really be jumping from the right hand side. So yeah, see, look, there you go, brilliant. Would have been nice to have that heal. So a lot of this game is like memory. You need to remember when someone's going to fall from the sky and try and hurt you, or when a bird or a bat's going to come and knock you off. And because I often die either before or during this level, I can't really remember when these things are going to happen. So you might notice a lot of the time I kind of hesitate before I do something, or I just fire off the 4 balls that fly at enemies and hit them just on the off chance that someone, like a bird or a guy, falls down out of nowhere, just to try and knock me off into oblivion. And then of course you've got this water current. It was just, makes it so much more. It makes it so hard. And it's already a hard game, you know? It's just like, give a break. And obviously, I don't have the right power up to kind of get this guy. So you've got to time you jump onto the ledge pretty well. And then this one, yep. Terrifying. Ugh. Because if you don't get that right, you are just dead. You've either just falling straight down, or you landed on that platform, and then you're going to get knocked off by the guy, and then you've got the red ninja to throw some at you if you don't recover in time. It's just, it's brutal. You've got to time this right as well, because the guy's going to fall down. Yeah, there we go. Ugh, go away. Look at that. I'm just watching this back, and I think, oh my god, this game is just designed to get you killed for the most annoying stuff ever. Like, there's a lot of cheap tricks and like cheap shots that the developers fire at you on this game. This guy's falling out of the sky with no warning. Now, there's no posting that's going to happen. You just need to remember it's going to happen. Or a bird like this coming out of nowhere. See? That's angered me watching it back, let alone when I was playing it. Jesus. No wonder, like, when we had this as the Master System challenge a few months ago now, a lot of people didn't really like it because a lot of the game is its memory. You kind of have to suffer through a level, kind of remember where stuff is, and then suffer less the next time you play it, which I can, it's a completely valid criticism of the game. You know, I played this game first time 30 years ago or whatever, and I suppose as a kid, it's a little bit different because you kind of got that viewpoint that you want to learn everything, even if it's the stupid time something's going to happen on a video game. But as an adult, you're just like, I don't have the time to be set back this 20 minutes to restart this game. To be fair though, I mean, I do think you get infinite continues on this. So you can plow your way through it. You know, even if you keep dying, I think you can still just get to the end. It's no big deal. You just won't have any points. Every time you get to a continue, you have to get a continue. You lose all your. Look at that. See, while I'm looking at it now in Premiere when I'm editing the video, this waterfall is hurting my eyes. Let alone when I was playing it. So I don't know what it's going to be like when it's on YouTube, but it's just the way the screen just like bounces back in and out of light every 2 seconds. Ugh, okay. So on this giant waterfall, early on you want to stick to the right hand side because you've got that wall on the right hand side. So when the birds come, you've got something to kind of like hang on to if you time it right. And then when you get to here is when you should be jumping up on the left hand side. But when I was playing, I obviously forgot that for a little while. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, now you've realised. And it just makes it a lot easier. Now you might have thought, oh, we're at the boss now, but no, there's more of this Death Mountain to go. Now I always find these red ninjas a lot more difficult than they should be. I mean, look, he's taking all my health off me, but their shurikens, unlike mine, they are like heat seeking. They'll just follow you around and go through walls and stuff. Yours won't. So in this next bit, you've got to get past this red guy, and if you do your jump properly, you won't have to use your power. But you know, if you've got the ring of fire, might as well just use it and blitz the guy. Right, the boss is here now because you can tell because we've just had a heal just before the end of a room, and I don't know why I'm just stood there. I must have been on my phone. Now, if you thought this game was about samurai and ninjas and geishas and all that sort of stuff, no, this game just gets weirder and weirder as you go along. I mean, you're fighting jetpack Darth Vader here, and then you fight later on. What do you fight? A rock demon. You fight, I think, the devil. You fight him at the end of the ice level, and then you fight some weird demonic head later on. It just gets weirder and weirder. So this boss has two basic patterns. We're going through the first one right now. It's pretty easy to dodge. You know, I've been hit a couple of times by it. But this second pattern, what he's doing now, once you get him to half health, it's a lot more difficult. Probably made more difficult by the fact that I've only fought this boss a handful of times. Because I'm normally fully dead by now, and I'm on a continue, and I don't really like continuing on this game. I'd rather just start again after my 3 or 4 lives are up. And coincidentally, because we're doing the Master System Challenge Christmas special, you know, you're trying to get as many points as you can. Once you've got that game over screen, you lose all your points, so there'll be no point in continuing anyway. But yeah, look at that, 10 million points. Not doing too bad. So again, we're just going to have to watch through the cutscene, because I didn't skip it. I'm pretty certain I was talking to the missus at this point. So yeah, apologies for this, but it's probably going to be another 30 or 40 seconds of me just talking absolute bollocks while the story runs on. I was going to say I never once, but I did. Once, I got to this level as a kid, 30 odd years ago, or 30 years ago, can't remember when this game came out. But the next level is unbelievably hard and annoying, and it's horrible. But the level after that is really nice. But spoiler alert, we don't get to the level after that. We die, or I die, on the next level, which is the ice level. So if anybody's looking for any tips on the ice level, I'm not really the guy to go to. However, when you land on an iced surface, make sure you're just going down. You're not going left and down or right and down, because if you are traveling left or right as you hit the ice, you will slide in that direction and you will fall into the water and you will die, or you will slide into a bunch of spikes and you will die. So just land without going left or right, and I'll show you what I mean in a few seconds. Another tip as well is to use the Ring of Fire. Just use it the entire time. If you've got enough end score or ninja points or whatever they're called, just have it on constantly, because you need it. There are so many spikes and guys hidden in snow and bloody seagulls and all this other crap that you just need the Ring of Fire to survive. I do want to say now though, I really enjoy the pixel art in this game. On the cutscenes, some of the pixel art's really nice. Like the Sutenkai Samurai looked amazing. Mount Fuji looked really nice. That glorious red gradient and whatnot. These ice planes, or whatever you want to call them, look really nice. And a lot of the characters, enemies and Ryu, look really good as well. And some of the background art is fantastic. Obviously, there's no like parallax scrolling or whatever like we had in Sonic, but I still think a lot of the background art's really, really pretty as well. Right, so you probably already noticed, but what I said earlier about when you land on this ice and you've got any sort of momentum left or right, it's just going to carry you forward, and it is going to leave you in a bad shape. So you just need to really get into the habit of jumping and then stop moving left or right. Just come down normally. See, I nearly died then because I let the momentum carry me across. So do what I say, not what I do, really. Parenting 101 there from Svalbaz. Do what I say, not what I do. So I kind of use the Ring of Fire a little bit too much. I'm not going to have it when I really need it when I get into the caves later. But I was having such a horrible time traversing this ice that I was just like, you know what, screw it. Let's just try and get as far as we possibly can. Oh, forgot to say, you know when I was going about, when I was fighting the last boss and I say, oh, how weird this game gets. Yeah, you fight aliens and stuff as well. It's bizarre. Look at that though. What a dick. Who just waits in the snow, waiting to throw a snowball at someone? And what kind of game developer does that? There's no posting that it's about to happen. It just happens. Just to lower your health. Or possibly kill you. And it's just like, as much as I love this game, that part of the game, it does tend to really piss me off. So the ice cave, where we are now, is just, it's so hard. You have to really be on point with your jumps, because the entire ceiling is covered with sharp stabbing crystals. And so if you mistime your jump or miscalculate it, you are just screwed. And this bit in particular, you can't attack this like jelly creature. What are you going to do? You have to have the right power up to hit him, really. You can't even, look, you have to get him down here. And then he spawns again by the time you're in here. Look, what are you going to do? All you have to do is basically get hit by him and hope the momentum carries you across to the right, which is just really bad. Really, really bad. I think I'd do it the next time I attempt this. Ideally, I would have had 5 more endpoints and I'd have been able to use my Ring of Fire and I'd have just burnt through it. But alas, I have to lose 4/5 of my health getting to there. So, just to let you guys know, this is basically where I die. I get a little bit more points, I get a couple more points, but it is just getting me. Look, die here, you get a 0 life, and I thought to myself, I was like, okay, cool, I'll give it another go. I know what to do now. You know, I've refreshed my memory. I'll be able to absolutely smash it. But no, I get to basically where I died the last time and just lose, just die. And what's really annoying is watching back the footage, it was using Ring of Fire just then. I needed it for this part, and I knew I needed it for this part, but I didn't bloody do it, did I? I got frustrated at that red jelly thing. It wasn't even an issue. I used my Ring of Fire, and then it had worn out by the time I got into this annoying little bit of cave. And then you can see the frustration building up in my game, and I just keep making loads of mistakes. I mean, just look at that. Luckily, I didn't die just then. I'm still able to get a little bit, you know, a couple more points. I think I killed this one guy, and then I die. Look. To be fair, after however many attempts, I was done. I just getting my ass handed to me constantly. Look at this. Gets a little bit further. Tries to get this scroll. If I remember correctly, I try and get this scroll, and then I just die. Oh. Okay, no, never mind. Here I die. Yeah, glorious death. Look at that. That bloody momentum. Right, so that is my Master System Challenge Christmas Special submission. Ninja Gaiden. I got 10,181,400 points, I think. Let's double check. Yeah, 10,181,400. So that's a pretty good score. I think that's one of the best scores I've ever got on Ninja Gaiden. I actually got further, and I got a slightly higher score earlier on my grand try of however many attempts of this game I tried. But I forgot to record that one. So, oh well. I'm going to make it my mission. I'm just going to say this right now. I'm going to make it my mission to complete Ninja Gaiden before I get any continues. Just actually complete the game in 2022. That is my one goal for the year. Don't care. Lose weight? Nah. Get a haircut? No. Ninja Gaiden. Just complete it without using a continue. So I just want to say thank you very much for stopping by and watching this nearly half an hour long video, which is something I've never done before. I'm not really going to do it ever again, I don't think, until I give Ninja Gaiden the complete try in 2022. If I get time before New Year's, I'm hopefully going to get a couple more videos out of doing other games on the Master System Christmas Special, or Master System Challenge Christmas Special, should I say. And again, yeah, I just want to say thank you to everybody who stops by and watches these videos and puts a comment on the video. I think we've got a really good little retro gaming community here growing. It's come through from Twitter, and I'm really looking forward to watching everybody else's Master System Challenge Christmas Special videos. Really looking forward to it, so please tag me when you make one. Okay, that's it. Thank you again. I hope you all had a good time this Christmas, regardless if you celebrated it or not. Please, everybody, stay safe, and until the next one, see ya.